The author of Dao De Jing is Laozi. Laozi, also known as Lao Dan, whose name was Li Ming'er, was a native of the Chu state during the spring and autumn period. He once served as the imperial historian of the Eastern Zhou royal family. According to legend, on the New Year's Eve of the Eastern Zhou dynasty, Laozi returned to seclusion. When passing through Hanga Pass, he met Yi, the officer guarding the pass. Yi asked Laozi about Dao. Laozi then left behind the 5,000 words Dao De Jing. The book was originally divided into two parts, the first part De Jing and the second part Dao Jing. Later it was changed to the first part Dao Jing and the second part De Jing. Although it was just over 5,000 words, it does not prevent the Dao De Jing from becoming one of the most important work in Chinese history. In Dao De Jing, Laozi talks about the Dao, which is like a path or a way of living. He says that trying to explain the Dao with words isn't enough because it's something much bigger and deeper than what we can talk about. Laozi wants us to understand that the Dao is beyond our understanding and that we should try to feel it instead of just talking about it. He wants us to see the Dao as something simple and natural, like the way things naturally flow in the world. Overall, Dao is something we can't fully explain with words, but we can try to understand it by living in harmony with nature and being open to its wisdom. In Dao De Jing, Laozi delves into the concept of duality and contrasts within the Tao. He begins by introducing the idea that while the concept of beauty exists, it is only recognized because of the existence of ugliness. Similarly, the notion of good is only understood in comparison to that which is deemed bad. Laozi suggests that these dualities are intertwined and necessary for understanding the nature of the Tao. He emphasizes that these pairs complement each other and give rise to one another, illustrating the inherent balance within the Tao. Moreover, Laozi explores the concept of action and inaction, suggesting that sometimes the most effective course of action is to refrain from action altogether. He uses the metaphor of a bow that is constantly bent, which will eventually lose its strength, to illustrate the importance of balance and moderation in all endeavors. Laozi concludes by highlighting the importance of embracing Wu Wei, the natural flow of life, and allowing things to unfold without excessive interference. He encourages individuals to cultivate a sense of humility and acceptance, recognizing that the Tao operates beyond human comprehension. It teaches us that the Tao encompasses both dualities and contrasts, which are essential for understanding its nature. It emphasizes the importance of balance, moderation, and acceptance of life's inherent opposites. Through aligning ourselves with the Tao, we can navigate the complexities of existence with grace and wisdom. In Dao De Jing, Laozi delves into the concept of impartiality within the Tao. He illustrates how the Tao doesn't take sides, but rather encompasses the entirety of existence, giving rise to both good and evil. Laozi compares the Tao to a boundless source that nurtures all aspects of life, without discrimination. Laozi further explains that just as the Tao remains impartial, the wise individual, often referred to as the master, should also adopt this stance. Rather than aligning with one extreme or another, the master embraces both saints and sinners, recognizing the inherent duality present in the world. Using the metaphor of a bellows, Laozi highlights the dynamic and inexhaustible nature of the Tao. Much like a bellows that expands and contracts to produce air, the more one engages with the Tao, the more it yields. However, paradoxically, the more one attempts to articulate or define the Tao, the more elusive it becomes. Ultimately, Laozi implores individuals to hold on to the center, advocating for a balanced and harmonious approach to life. By centering oneself amidst the flux of existence, one can navigate the complexities of the world with equanimity and clarity. In essence, it teaches us that the Tao embodies impartiality and encompasses the dualities of existence. It encourages us to transcend the limitations of dichotomous thinking and embrace a holistic perspective, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Through aligning ourselves with the natural flow of the Tao, we can cultivate inner harmony and wisdom. Laozi delves deeper into the concept of emptiness and simplicity. He describes the Tao as akin to a valley, humble and unassuming, yet possessing immense depth and richness. Laozi emphasizes that just as the valley is able to nourish and sustain life, the Tao, in its emptiness, is infinitely capable of fulfilling myriad potentials. Continuing with the metaphor, Laozi compares the Tao to a receptacle, highlighting its capacity to contain without ever being filled. Much like a vessel that remains empty yet endlessly useful, the Tao transcends limitations and boundaries, offering boundless possibilities to those who align with it. Furthermore, Laozi discusses the virtue of humility and how it relates to the Tao. He suggests that those who embody the Tao embrace humility, recognizing their interconnectedness with all things and eschewing arrogance or self-importance. By cultivating a mindset of humility, individuals can align themselves with the natural order of the Tao and experience true fulfillment. Dao De Jing teaches us that the Tao embodies emptiness and simplicity, yet holds infinite potential within its boundless depths. It encourages us to embrace humility and recognize the interconnectedness of all existence. Through aligning ourselves with the Tao, we can tap into its limitless power and find harmony in the midst of life's complexities. Laozi delves into the concept of nature's harmony and the virtue of living in accordance with the Tao. He begins by likening the Tao to nature itself, describing it as eternal and inexhaustible, much like a river that flows endlessly. Laozi emphasizes the importance of embracing simplicity and contentment, using the metaphor of a kingdom ruled by a true sage. He suggests that a kingdom governed by the principles of the Tao operates smoothly and harmoniously, without the need for excessive control or intervention. Furthermore, Laozi discusses the idea of embracing emptiness and detachment, comparing it to the usefulness of a vessel that is empty yet functional. He suggests that by letting go of attachments and desires, individuals can tap into the inherent wisdom of the Tao and experience true fulfillment. Continuing with the theme of nature, Laozi highlights the importance of embracing the cycles of life and death, growth and decay. He suggests that just as nature follows its own rhythms, individuals should also learn to accept the transient nature of existence and find peace in the midst of change. It teaches us that the Tao embodies the natural order of the universe and encourages us to live in harmony with its principles. It emphasizes the importance of simplicity, contentment, and detachment, as well as the acceptance of life's inherent cycles. Through aligning ourselves with the Tao, we can cultivate inner peace and experience the true essence of life.